Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bayt.com's Career Talk. I am Hatem, HANNOUN, and we are officially in 2018, the first day of the year. And to kick off the year, I want to spend this episode to explore with you the top 10 cities in the Middle East and North Africa for job seekers. Now, the Middle East as a region has many similarities between the different countries, cultures, traditions, but at the same time, there are quite some significant differences, especially when it comes to deciding where you want to live or where you want to work. And that's what I want to explore in this week's episode. So we've recently conducted a survey about the top cities to live and work in the Middle East and North Africa by leveraging the reach of our 12 offices across the region. And on this week's episode, I want to explore with you or list with you the different factors that come into play, whether it's sociocultural, whether it's economic, labor rights, the different factors that come into the play when you're making that decision on where you want to work, where you want to live, taking into account people's priorities in each of these cities. So let's get started. The first factor we're going to look at is the economy. The economic factors that play a role in your decision making on where you want to live and where you want to work. These factors include things such as job availability, salary competitiveness, benefits for working parents, affordability of daily necessities like food, water, and fuel. These all play a factor into your overall happiness in where you live and where you work. For example, almost 8 in 10 respondents in our survey said that the availability of jobs is the most important factor for them, followed by the availability of career growth opportunities with 74% and 73% care about affordable housing. Now, when taking into consideration all these economic factors and more, these are the top 10 most favored cities in the Middle East. Another element we want to look at is labor rights. Now, labor rights are important. It helps you view the city in different ways, and it affects not only the working population, but also the non-working population. For example, if you're a working mother, then the labor rights will also dictate the security of your children or your dependents. Now, these are all important variables and different factors that come into play when you're deciding on where you want to work or where you want to live. 82% of the respondents in our survey said that health insurance and social security systems are the most important element for them in terms of labor rights, followed closely by end-of-service benefits with 74% and 72% care heavily about wage protection systems. In terms of the cities that ranked highest for labor rights, these are the top 10 in the Middle East. The next factor we want to look at is the environment. A lot of people care about their environment. It plays a role in how you view your city or how you feel about your city. And these factors include things such as traffic, how little pollution there is, the cleanliness of the streets, the beauty of the architecture. All this plays a role into your comfort and how you feel about your environment. In fact, our survey showed that the top 3 most important factors in terms of environment are clean air, clean water, and clean streets. So cleanliness ranks very high for people living in the Middle East. After reviewing our survey results, these are the top 10 cities in terms of environment. The next element to look at is the standard of living. Let me explain what I mean by that. Standard of living includes things such as quality healthcare facilities. It includes things such as quality transportation modes. It includes things such as available educational institutions or top quality institutions for your children or if you're studying yourself. These all play a factor into your standard of living. If you have parks available, if you have gardens that you can walk through, these all contribute to how you feel and live in your city. But the top most important factor for people living in the Middle East was actually the feeling of stability and insecurity. Along with that, and over 80% of people also feel that availability of educational institutions is important, as well as the availability of healthcare facilities, top quality healthcare facilities. All these ranked over 80% in our survey. And for standard of living, these are the cities that ranked highest in the Middle East. Next, we're looking at the socio-cultural factors that come into play. These are the factors that affect the way you think, the way you feel, your mentality, your behavior within the city. These are also the factors that will either help you blend in and assimilate within a city or feel isolated within a city and find it hard to get along with other people. These factors include things such as low crime rates, stable political environments, equal opportunities or equal treatment of all genders, of all nationalities. These all affect the way you think, the way you feel, the way you behave within a city. Now, these factors are especially important if you're moving to work in another city or moving to live somewhere else that's not your home country. This is where we get the term culture shock. If you're not familiar with the cultures or the traditions of the way other countries do certain things. Now, what our survey showed was the most important factor for the respondents in the Middle East with 81% is low crime rates, followed by 78% effective law enforcement. So we see security as very high for people in the Middle East. And the top cities in terms of socio-cultural factors in the Middle East are And finally, we want to look at entrepreneurship. This also plays a factor in where people want to live or where they want to work. We're seeing a growing trend. Over 6 in 10 people in the Middle East prefer to be self-employed, and this is a growing trend on a global level. Now, when you're looking to see which city is best suited for you and your entrepreneurship aspirations or ambitions, you're looking at several different factors. These include the affordability of taxes, the ease of setting up a business or registering a business, how easy is it for you to find financing for your organization or your startup, how easy is it to find quality and top-level talent. These all play a role. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to start your own business, you need to think about these factors when you're looking to see which city you want to move to. Now, what our survey showed was the most important factor in terms of entrepreneurship was actually the affordability of taxes. 62% of respondents said that affordability of taxes is the most important element for them. This is followed by the market's willingness to accept new ideas and innovation with 58%. And the top cities in terms of entrepreneurship in the Middle East are... That's all I have for you guys on this week's episode of Bayt.com's Career Talk. Thank you very much for watching. I'd like to wish you all a happy new year across the Middle East and across the world. I hope this information was valuable to you in helping you make better choices. As always, follow us here on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our Facebook page, our Instagram page for the latest updates, and I'll see you next week.